I'll ask Henry if that's all right. I need a bit of help on decision making. I'm still to apply a lot of SEO, but I don't know what to do with these numbers. So if I'm gonna share the screen, I got a lead from Google from local, like she lives like 5 minutes up the road, which is great. But then I don't know what to like. If I look in here, I have only 11 clicks, and there is not really that keyword doesn't appear to be here.
Yeah. So we get this data from a third party. So we pay for this data. They update the data at least once a month. So sometimes this isn't going to fully represent reality. And the reason being is like SEMrush and Ahrefs, for example, are much more expensive because they have their own proprietary data that's expensive for them to get and maintain, which is why I always recommend to, yes, look at this for your research, but then look at Google Search Console to see what's really going on.
Okay. So here, it's not really. Yeah, I get a bit lost when I see here, but one of the biggest thing is, and I know I need to turn this from blog to money page because the volume, the impressions are high.
Yeah.
But then let's talk on this one because it's still the volume. This is my local page.
That's definitely exciting in a way because you can see that web design North Shore. It's getting a lot of impressions, not many clicks. That's exciting, right? Because that's money. So if you just click on that page to filter by it, please. And then, yeah, scroll down. Yeah, okay. So tons of like exciting keywords going on here.
So that was one of my things. So there are so many impressions and I only got one click. How do I get the most? Because as we spoke before, like if I get 10 clicks and I convert 10 a month, I'm laughing. Not even like if I convert half a month, I'm laughing.
So what I would do is, obviously I don't know any of these areas, but I would look through and I would say like, how different is North Shore from North Sydney to Chatswood to Manly to Hornsby to Brookdale? Like how different are all those different areas?
North Shore is like a state, smaller than a state, but think about it. And then all these other little ones, Chatswood, Manly, they are the cities. So they're the suburbs inside the council.
So this is me just thinking out loud. So if we can see, so this is the past 28 days, and you're 100% right, like clicks from pretty much any of these keywords here is going to mean money. And I think I'm super excited for you that if you said, you know, there's still a lot of SEO that you're still left to do and you're getting impressions for these, it's a really good sign. For me, what this says is if North Shore includes a lot of these different areas, let's take Chatswood, the one that's highlighted now.
Yep.
And looking at this, around like 70 people search for this per month. Is that enough people to create a dedicated page for web design Chatswood?
Yeah. Okay.
And web design Manly, you know, around 110 people search for it per month because that's the past 28 days. I don't know, but this is sort of telling me that there's a lot of different areas. So I think you've got two options. You either double down on your North Shore page and maybe add those, you know, Manly, Chatswood as secondary keywords on the page to boost your rankings for those.
Okay.
But the main thing you're focusing for is North Shore, or you break it down and you create sub pages for the different areas. Because volume wise, I mean, let's just copy Manly, web design Manly, and just Google that, please. So what I'm really thinking through is like, you know, who is showing up here, and is it worth you creating a dedicated page? This is what I would be weighing up, because obviously the more pages you create to target those locations within North Shore, the more time it's going to take. And, you know, have you got that But what I would be weighing up for you is look who ranks for Manly and what are they doing. I mean, from what I see here, these people are, it looks like Northern Beaches, which I imagine is that, like, again, the region.
Yeah.
None of them are optimized for Manly. So does that present an opportunity for you? Because yeah, like none of them seem to be, it all seems to be Northern Beaches, right?
Who named
What is
these companies? Juice, spicy broccoli. They must have been hungry.
Spicy broccoli. So yeah, that's what I'm sort of painting a picture of. You know, it might actually not be that competitive. Ina, would you mind going back to Google Search Console? So just to recap, MJ, this here is showing all the keywords for a money page that Ina has created to target North Shore web design, that page there. So it's showing all the keywords she's getting impressions for, i.e., someone types in that keyword, they see Ina, but they don't click on her, which means she's either at the bottom of page 1, maybe on page 2. And the reason why doing this is super valuable is keyword research tools, they're always estimates. Google Search Console showing the real data. So this is potentially showing Ina keywords that she would otherwise never find. But because Google Search Console is showing the real data, so it's unveiling some opportunities. So Ina, I don't know whether I can answer the question now, but what I would do is spend a little bit of time going through those areas. You know the cities, the areas better than anyone, and think, is Manly, are there good businesses in that it look like it's a tourist area on the beach? So it's worth assessing who ranks for those keywords already. And is it worth you splitting your North Shore page into different areas, given that potentially North Shore is a region? So by trying to go for that, it's going to be more competitive because you're competing against more businesses, rather than saying creating 3 pages, one to target Hornsby, one Mansby, Manly, and one Chatswood.
Yeah.
Less competitive, but more good search volume. And as you said, you only need to be getting 10 leads a month. You're laughing from those pages.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do a little bit more. And a question from there then. For example, web developer North Shore. This is a keyword that I 100% don't have on my local page.
Yeah.
So I should know this, I think. But how do I add it as a secondary keyword? Do I put it in the SEO space and say add it as a secondary keyword? Is it just on the text? And how many times do we need to sort of mention secondary keywords?
We don't have the ability to add secondary keywords into the plugin. So in the plugin, you just add the main keyword that you want to rank for. But in terms of a secondary keyword, I will just add it as a variation to the main keyword once or twice in the web page. Yeah, if it's a little bit more different, like let's say, for example, I wanted to rank for Squarespace SEO and the secondary keyword was how to do Squarespace SEO, I might add that as a dedicated subtitle on the page. So there's not like a set rule for secondary keywords. You just add them as a sort of a variation.
Okay. And sorry, girls, and Henry.
I think I think everyone's getting value from this because everyone's
before you move off of the keywords, is whatever your primary keyword is, that's in your H1 tag, but do you also need to mention it several other, like in the context of the page as well?
So a couple of times. Ina, would you mind opening that page and plugging the keyword into the plugin?
Yeah, right. How do I get
if you click on it, you'll be able to copy it from there.
It really does make you think differently about design when you're focused on SEO. And like I always tell people, get your copy before you come to me. But now I feel like I need to be more involved even in that if you're really trying to help someone.
Yeah. I think the plugin might be hidden, Ina. So if you press it from within the toolbar.
Sorry.
No, it's good. I like that you're using that feature because some people.
I asked for it.
Was it you that asked for it? Christy Price actually asked for it as well. Because some people
I
like cancel and say, oh, I can't get rid of the plugin from showing up, and then I have to reach out to them to say. But yeah, on your point, Sharon, it is so important. And I'm dealing with a website at the moment that's being built, and the web designer has asked for the copy in advance, which is so hard, because how do you know what how do they know what the copy is for a site that isn't even built? So I definitely wouldn't want to be in your position in that sense. But if you just scroll down to the content, the content suggestion on the plugin. So MJ, when you go on the plugin, you'll have the ability to add a keyword. If you scroll to the top, Ina, and when you add a keyword, it will give you step-by-step recommendations of how to rank higher for that keyword. So it will tell you where to place it in the content.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Why is the competition X'd out? I'm sorry.
It's okay. Click on it.
I've never seen this.
Let's say no one searched for it. So that might be a bug potentially. Well, it depends when you last scanned it, Ina. If you rescan, please. Scan with a keyword.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. If you press back in the top left of the plugin, you'll be able to.
Learning all these little tips.
But you may not be able to go back. Obviously, I use it every day and I built it, so I know like little things that I had 8 back-to-back user testing calls yesterday to like try and figure out like what are these little things that I know, but unless it's obvious for you to use, you're never going to realize it's there.
You got 100% last time.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it said 100%, I swear.
Did it?
I think it started off. Like, for example, can you see the view recommended keywords just above the box? If you click on that, it'll actually suggest keywords for that page specifically.
Which is not this one, but no, sure. I'm not sure. What is this one? That's the one that I have here.
Yeah, that's the one. I feel like Diane's mind's just been blown seeing that.